Hi everyone, my name is Ravneet. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back. If you've already been here, today I'm doing VR to Cara at Cara Tarot. She created this new tag called 20 Classic Movies in Tarot. And thank you so much for creating these fun prompts. It was a lot of fun for me to find the appropriate decks. I'm trying to show the decks that I've not already shown before. But yeah, I will list her channel down below if you want to go check out her content. She's amazing. So let's move on. The first prompt was, what deck has a central mystery hard to unravel? For me, that is Tarot of Transformation by Willow, Arlenea, Jasmin, Cori. I think this is out of print. Really cute bag, but this deck is its own thing. I am in no way saying that this deck sucks or anything. It's just I need more time, I think, to build a relationship with this deck. So these are the cards. I don't want to show you the reflection, so it has its own system, the keywords. It's very spiritual, very good for like reflection type work, I think. But it has its own thing going, seriously. And you need the guidebook, I think, for this one, unless you have studied it deeply. And the guidebook is really nice. I did a bit of study, but like I think I need more time, like one-on-one study for this one. So that's for the first prompt. It's Tarot of Transformation, which has a central mystery, and I'm yet to unravel that. Okay. So next is, which deck represents an offer you couldn't refuse? Oh yeah, it was this one. I have like a huge mountain of decks here, so bear with me. This is the Moon deck. So I saw this deck on some channel, I don't know, and it felt really feminine and soothing, and the Moon deck, and I'm a reflector, very much in sync with the phases of the moon, so I thought this was a good deck that I saw, and it has affirmations as well. These are the backs. So why is this an offer I can refuse? I got it pre-loved on eBay, and it was very affordable, and I was like, okay, I'm getting it. So look at the images, really beautiful. And I honor the natural process of growth and transformation. It's powerful. It's not at all love and light, which is, I think life is much more than that. But you see the point. It's very feminine, very soothing, and the guidebook is really nice. I think I saw it on Tarot Maps channel. I'll link them down below. But like the guidebook comes with a ritual as well. So a description of the card and then a ritual. So you can actually do like manifest that energy in your life, and it's not just about like magic. It's very something that all of us have in our house, like for example, this one is about desire. So it says that meditate on your core desires and give yourself time to really listen to your inner voice. Once clear, continue with this ritual. Slowly, it's carving wood symbols into your candle. So it really, I think, involves us into this energy that we want to manifest. Because I think manifestation is much more than just speaking those words out loud, right? So yeah, that's Moon deck. Okay, very beautiful. Okay, so the next prompt is, what deck is simply a pleasure to look at, which one was that? Oh, it's Enchanted. It's Enchanted Tarot by Amy Zerner, Monte, Farber. This is the, like I mentioned in my previous videos, I don't store them in the boxes. So this came with a bag. It's not bad at all. And I actually trimmed it off. So these are the bags. Really beautiful. And just look at this. I can look at these images forever. I mean, this collage is like so beautiful. Look at the different textures. And you can really see what all are these tarot archetypes. Oops. Default. So yeah, this is the deck for the Casablanca. Simply a pleasure to look at. And it has a really nice guidebook as well, like colored and everything. I haven't really done a deep dive on this deck, but it comes with a description and then really nice colored like the image and it actually, what I really liked about this is like the images are in the back because I chopped it off, so it's easier for me to just refer in case I want to see what image is what archetype, you know. So yeah, that's for the third prompt. Next is the which deck gives you a glorious happy feeling. Okay, that one is Affirmators. This deck makes me smile every single time. It's this fun little deck. It makes me laugh. The box is that weird box, the slide one. Oops. These are the bags, and it's just really funny. The images are really simple, but you can relate to them. For example, positive thinking. In the garden of my mind, I water the good thoughts and weed out the bad ones. I throw in forgiveness and empathy seeds by the handful if I want. And I take a lawnmower to that jealousy and resentment patch. I'm a pretty badass mind gardener. See what I mean? It's very simple. It just makes you smile. I think anybody who's not even, doesn't know much about divination can relate to this. Look at that, divine timing. I love that interpretation. Let me read this. Everything is timing, and timing is everything. Gladly I release my concern over timing and let things happen when and as they will. I trust that the divine schedule makers know what they're doing. It can take a long time to reach divine middle management. You see what I mean? Yeah, fun little deck. So that was prompt number 4, which deck gives you a glorious happy feeling. Definitely Affirmators. And sorry, I didn't mention it is by doesn't say anything. I don't know, but I think it's an old deck. People have seen it already. I'll move on. Okay, next is which deck helps to strengthen you when you're feeling down? There are other decks that I've already mentioned, but I will mention Kali Oracle by Alana Fairchild. The guidebook is one of the best guidebooks. Again, I think that really helps me, especially when I'm going through transformation. This is a powerful deck, and that's when I feel the most out of control. I will mention that. So, really beautiful artwork by Jimmy Manton. I was close. Jimmy Manton. I mean, this artwork itself is so beautiful, like transports me, and that's why I like using Tarot Oracle, because the art itself is so soothing and takes you out of your head And also the guidebook for this one, Kali is much more than what she is talked about. It's that feminine energy that actually helps us during the darker times of our life, times when we have to let go. This is my favorite image. This is my wallpaper, phone wallpaper most of the time. Look at that, just it's stunning. You see what I mean? Yeah. So this is definitely, and this is the guidebook. This is the guidebook. I have used this deck a lot. Just, it is an amazing guidebook. So I think it's because of the guidebook is why I tend to go towards this deck when I'm feeling down. Okay, let's move on. That was the 5th prompt. Okay, it's gonna be a longer video because there are a lot of prompts, which I'm not complaining about, it's the same. Which deck helps you aspire to your highest self? Which one did I choose for that? I think I chose the Goddess Oracle for this. This is the Goddess Oracle by Amy Sophia Marchinsky. I think I have a lot of decks that do that. It's just, you know, the guidebook is really nice. Again, I like to go towards guidebooks, especially when, you know, when I want to integrate that energy into my experience. This is an older deck, but I think this is a really powerful deck that actually reminds me of my higher self. All these different energies. I don't, how do I say that? I work with these energies archetypally, energetically. So I don't follow them, right? But they just help me work with the energy that I want to integrate at that point. So this is the deck that helps me aspire to my highest self. Okay. So, and this is the guidebook. Really nice guidebook. Highly recommend. Really nice. It comes with a short little poem about the goddess, their mythology, and then the meditation to integrate that into your life. I was reading that this particular deck is recommended by psychologists as well to their patients, just because it's really good actually. So next is which deck feels like returning? No, 7th prompt is which deck are you a bit obsessed with right now? Da-da-da, people who follow my Instagram know this. It's Reclaim Oracle. I am obsessed with this deck. It is really good. Like I said, I'm going through a really hard time, and I have been working with this deck every morning to understand and actually honor all the emotions that I'm going through, and it does a great job in that. This was my last pull. And it's like really visceral, raw emotion just interpreted in these cards. Nothing fancy that you have to like think about, but you will like discouragement. Look at the heart coming outside from the chest. You see what I mean? I mean, this is a great deck. And also the write-ups in the little guidebook. Look at that. You see what I mean? Blame. I am obsessed with this deck. The guidebook is really small, but it is a good one. For example, let's pick up one card, which is boredom, okay? Boredom. So I'll read from the guidebook. Do-do-do-do. My cat is coming here for causing trouble. Okay, boredom. Boredom is when the world is standing there, but I'm afraid to join it. Boredom is thinking my hands are too small for my dream, so I stay here comfortable in my invisibility. I am safer when I remove myself from a world that likes to pretend it doesn't need me. You see what I mean? Man, this deck, I just love. I'm obsessed with this deck, and I want to keep using it, I think, this summer, at least. I don't know. The plans change all the time, but you know what I mean. Okay, it's hot, okay? So next is, which deck feels like returning home after a wild adventure? I think it would be Cantigi. Cantigi Oracle by Ray Diamond and artwork by Laura Zospan. I think she's the creator of Luminous Void. I don't have that. I don't really resonate with the artwork, but this deck, these are the backs. Just look at that. You see what I mean? I love that. It's a round deck. The card stock is terrible, but this deck is amazing, especially because I'm working on my emotional intelligence. This deck, when you see the images, you're like, what? But then it is on point every single time for me. So like, this was my last pull. It is very empowering. The images don't make sense, but when you read the guidebook, it makes total sense. It is not very confronting, which is exactly what you want when you want to come back to yourself, right? It is very gentle, but it does not shy away from telling you your shit. Is how I feel about this deck. I think this is one of my top favorite oracles of all time, hands down. And I do want to focus on the guidebook because I think this being a mass market deck, I think it's a steal. For example, let's see, let's pick a card. So this is 21, Kissed by Wheel Spray. Okay, so I'll read from the guidebook a little bit so you guys know what I'm talking about. Here, so you can see it. Okay. You find yourself in a boat crossing a channel. It is the only way to get from your known world to the farther shore that is calling you. You don't know why you're going to this new land, how you will sustain yourself once you're there, or how long you will be there. You know only that you must go there. In the meantime, you are rising and falling with your ship, partially surfing and partially churning through the waves as the wind blows against you. The wind and the sails form an alchemy of direction and movement that is mysterious to you, but known to and tended by the quiet sailor who ferries you from hither to yon. Swept up as you are in all of this motion and change, you are yet alert to an emergence of a whale a few feet from your boat. Its body, far larger than your modest vessel, briefly glides up through the water surface, long enough to spout excess brine out its blowhole before submerging back into the depths. By some alignment of wind, direction, and proximity, some of the spray settles on your face as you revel in the feeling of the depths of the sea and the celestial warmth of sunlight converging on your countenance. You're inspired, awed, and humbled. You see what I mean? It is like how we feel in our bodies, but we just never honor that, or we never feel the magic in the little moments of our lives. That's how this deck feels like to me, coming home to my body in the experiences that don't even have a word for it. And then there are like keynotes, there is symbology, there's guidance, and as an icon you can work on it, like and then as a portal there's practice, there's creative prompts if you want to do something creative with this particular energy, right? For example, here it says there are both active and receptive aspects to the creative process. The active parts are the brainstorming, planning, and actual creation of things, but the receptive parts of the creative process are just as critical in developing and manifesting new works. This archetype invites you to sink into the receptive phases of creativity. You see what I mean? It is amazing. It's an amazing deck. Definitely. And then there's an ecological connection, because this particular deck was written in mind to spread awareness of the impacts of our actions, everyday actions, and how we can contribute, on our scale. So there is some educating on that aspect as well. So wonderful, wonderful deck. This was which deck feels like returning home after a wild adventure. So that was Candy G Oracle. Okay, I had to actually check what I decided for this prompt. The deck you struggled with but then found a surprising connection. I think it's Magic of You, Oracle by Fiona Horn. This deck looks intimidating, right? But these are the backs. But the more I work with this deck, the better it gets. Every time the reading is so powerful. It is a great shadow work deck, but it does it in a very gentle way. The images are thought-provoking, very captivating, as you can see. Yeah, and in the beginning I thought, it felt a little bit off-putting, but the more I work with it, it is just the write-ups in even the keywords are powerful. For example, this one is everything in perfect balance. And then the guidebook actually goes ahead and explains you what is going on in the image. I think I really like guidebooks which do that, because I want to know what's going on in the artwork, right? Like the little imagery, the little symbology that the creator had in mind when they created it. So this is prompt number 9. Little guidebook, really nice. Not at all throw it away type of guidebook. So that's Magic of You Oracle. Moving on is a deck that is a little twisted or a lot. I didn't have to think much about this one. It is, and I know people love this deck, but I personally didn't really jive with this one. It's Guy and Tarot by Joanna Powell. Why can't I focus? Can you focus? Okay, fine. So these are the backs. I did a deck study. Why isn't it focusing? Okay. I did a deck study with 3 beautiful women in the community, and I mean, it's nice. It's just off-putting for me a little bit, especially being a newbie in tarot. I think there's just a lot of symbology that I personally don't relate to. There's just a lot of stuff that, it's why is it even there? And I haven't worked with it since. I thought I would, but then I didn't. So what I don't like about it is just, I don't know, personally for me it did not work. They don't talk to me, the images don't talk to me a lot for what I want in my deck. So that's Kane Tarot by Joanna Powell Colbert. Okay, yeah, this one. So moving on is a deck that simply won't work in all readings. Is a deck that calls me on my shit, right? That's Mystical Healing, and I am avoiding this deck for the longest time because it calls me out badly. There are not a lot of cards in this deck, and it's beautiful, right? Look at the backs, really beautiful. Why is it not focusing? Oh yeah, look at these backs, and really beautiful images. I mean, yeah, look at these images, really beautiful. But like I said, it's if you want a straight answer, and I feel like a message from your higher self is how I feel this, but it's hard. Look at this. You see what I mean? Yeah, this particular deck, only one card is enough to go deeper. So, and I think that's why I feel like it does not work in all readings. If you want, personally, what I observed is if you want an overall energy or the thing that you're not looking at about yourself, this is the deck. It's Mystical Healing. I don't know if I mentioned Mystical Healing Oracle cards by Inesical. Is my choice. For prompt number 11, 12 is which deck do you treat like a star? I think it has to be Song of the Grandmothers. I love this deck by Cara Simons. And why? Because it's just so it's like Song of the Grandmother. It's a grandmother energy, and I don't have a grandmother in my life, which, you know, like that grandmother essence. These are the backs, really beautiful. Why is okay here? It's just very beautiful deck. There are affirmations and little keywords on the card itself. Like this is grandmother tornado, grandmother elephant, about community. It's like that elder talking to you. I mean, what is not to like? I just adore this deck. This deck is never going out of my collection. Look at that. It is not confronting at all. I feel like this particular prompt was that do you treat like a star? Yeah. I want a deck that treats me and adores me. You know, this deck feels like that. It adores you, and it will reflect on the things that you need to know about, like a grandmother does. She loves us, but she will still tell us what we need to work on. It feels like that, but it does it in a gentle way, like in a loving, soothing way. So definitely, this is my choice. Really nice guidebook. Yeah, I've been babbling for a long time now. Let's move on. Next is which deck is filled with mature female seductive power? I chose LG Oracle by Melanie Dillon. Has a little white guidebook. These are the backs. Beautiful. And just look at them. Just look at these women. See what I mean? It is an empowering deck, but it will also tell you the things that you need to know. And I think that's what female seductive power is. It's not just about self-love and self-care. It's also about seeing where we are restricting ourselves, where we are not owning our power, we are giving our power away. Very empowering deck, this one, Elke oracle. You see what I mean? These women are stunning. So that was prompt number 13. I think we are close. Oh no, we have a lot of them. Okay. So which deck makes you question your reality? I had to think about this one. It is also one of my favorite tarot decks of all time, which is Osho Zen Tarot. I love Osho. I've always loved him. People who get it, get him. You need a pretty open mind to understand that person. But this is Osho Zen Tarot. These are the backs. Okay, yeah. So this deck talks about the concepts of tarot in a Zen perspective, and I trimmed off the borders as you can see, but then the imagery was actually they came up with the imagery by I think a group of people who were meditators for a long time, and I think that makes all the difference. Meditation really focuses your mind so you can go straight to the matter of the heart. And I think this deck does a great job in that. Oof. Okay. And the I think the keywords or the suit names, everything has changed, but I think this deck always makes me question. It gives me a completely different perspective of my situation or the question I'm asking. Just look at this. You see what I mean? Yeah, it is a powerful deck. And the guidebook is really nice as well. I would recommend spending time with it, I think. So the guidebook is like that, rectangle shaped, but the guidebook has colored image, and then the writer Deva Padma, I think, her write-up, and then Osho's commentary, which I think both of their interpretations are powerful in this deck. I highly recommend this deck. I don't see it enough, but for me, it's a deck that's not going anywhere. Which deck is filled with heavenly light? It talks about light. Look at that. The secret language of light. What is the secret language of, sorry about the shake up. The secret language of light. I'm recording this at nighttime, and yeah, it's a bit harder. I feel like nighttime recording. But I wanted to do it because I have a lot more stuff to do. But this was fun, so I wanted to participate in it. These are the backs. I got to know about this deck when I went to a retreat a couple years ago in Costa Rica, and the person that I really respect, she was conducting that retreat, was using this deck, and we used to pull a card every day, or whoever wanted to, and the write-ups are really nice, and it actually very much is about like the light side of us, you know, of the situation. I feel like, so for me, this deck definitely feels like filled with heavenly lights. Look at that. It's very like higher vibration interpretations. Look at that inner voice. I think sometimes it's good to have a higher view of the situation. So that's why I still have this deck in my collection, because sometimes the human can get in the way, our human side. And I feel like you need this kind of deck as well, which actually shows you a more wholesome or like higher view. So This also has meditation in it and reflection actions, journal work. It's a nice guidebook by Denise Jarvie. It's a good one. Yeah. So that's prompt number 15. 16, a deck that highlights African Americans and is terrifically cool. It was hard for me to find it, but I chose Wisdom Keepers. This is also one of my favorite Oracle decks of all time. But I did find a couple in here. So like for example, this. It is, I think, related to Gene Keys. I don't know much about it, but you know, this deck has wonderful stories about these people that are demonstrated here, and it's very much a grandmother energy again to me, and I love that kind of decks which tell me the things that I need to look at, but in a gentle way, you know, and I think that's how we heal. I don't personally feel like we heal through that abrasive ways. I'm trying to find more. I don't know, it's like I don't have any one particular deck like that. Sorry, just a moment. Maybe this. So yeah, it's just, I love the colors and look at the detail. You know, so it's a very beautiful deck. I love it. I'm taking a little bit of a break with it, and the backs are like this. Oops. Beautiful. Okay. So that was prompt number 16. Okay, next. I actually missed these last prompts, so I had to decide it right now. Which deck happily accepts everyone as they are? Well, I think it was, I chose Into the Lonely Woods by Dan May. I think this deck is really good for when you're feeling, or you know, the normal experience of existential crisis that most of us go through at different points of our life, but it does it in a very loving way. These are the backs, and the images are so loving. Whoa. And the keywords as well, in the vastness of it all. Like, just look at those images. Isn't that beautiful? Blessed reunion. This is a beautiful deck. I mean, just imagery itself is like hugs you. Not at all love and light, but you know what I mean. Like, it's very gentle. Just look at that. Oh. Oh. Come on. My God, the focus. Yeah. Do not hide your light. And the write-ups are barely like a half a page, and it's not much. And even if you don't want to read the guidebook, I think it's really nice. This deck definitely accepts everyone as they are, because it's hard for us adults to accept that, you know, sometimes to accept that we are lonely and we need help. And we all need help. Nobody's immune to that. Which deck is like a scary dream? I haven't worked with this deck, but so far, what I have watched really is thought-provoking. So I would not say scary, but scary in a good way. Scary in like, I don't get scared easily, but you know, like for me, scary is what I don't want to look at. And I think this deck shows what we don't want to look at. Like, look at this 3 of Wands. This is not that confronting, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. Knight of Cups, Page of Cups. Yeah, like, look at that. It makes you think, right? Yeah. Look at this. What is it doing? Oh my god, look at this. That's what I'm saying. Oh my god. You know. So it's very much makes you think, look at this. You know what I mean? The cruelties of our human behavior, our shadows, what is scary to me, and I think this deck really does a good job in showing our shadows in the real world, because it's very much about the real world. And I think that's why we resort to storytelling and animals and nature, because it's really hard for us to see that in our real lives when we are doing it for the most part. So this is Unveiled Tarot by Jesse Lonergan. So that's prompt number 18. 19. What deck helps lift you higher than the treetops? Well, you might have seen the theme, you know. I have a lot of those, but I chose Rumi Oracle by Lana Fairchild. This deck is very mystical, and when I feel like lifting than the treetops, that's what I feel like, that the mystical side of us, the side of us that talks to the divine, you know. For me, that's what is very uplifting. These are the backs. I trimmed it down. Artwork is by Rosoli. The keywords are hard to like relate to. Sometimes like this is fine, impossible made possible, but like you're like, what does that mean? You know. But the artwork, and it's so ethereal, it's so like magical, mystical, that whole Sufi angle of the human experience. I think this deck definitely has made me cry whenever I have taken the time to go deeper into this one. It's not getting much time, but I think I will definitely want to work with it in the future. So, and the guidebook is really nice, like Alana's guidebook, but this guidebook itself is very beautiful. It, for example, like 20, let's see. So this is the Cloak of Christ. I'll read, I don't see this deck either, but I think it's a good one. So, let's see. So this is the card, and it says, in the school of humanity, when you become intimate with God, you reside on the king's throne and teach the angels the nature of the divine, by Rumi. My sacred brother, he who shares my heart and yours, beating as one in harmony with the great unending love, brings you the mantle of his protection. Do you imagine that there is any part of your life, of your body, of your soul that is outside the realm of his divine love and protection? Offer all to him, leave nothing cast aside. He and I together receive you absolutely without condition now. The compassion born out of our own struggles tempers the karmic weight of divine justice. We have been through the same journey you are taking now, sweet divine soul. In oneness with the divine heart, we know of your efforts and your struggles. So what is bestowed upon you now is the restoration of forgiveness, of kindness, of mercy. So it's very much like, I feel like there are times in my life when I have wanted to feel that connection personally, with the divine. When I'm talking face to face with the divine, not as a human, but as a part of the divine. And I think this deck really reminds me of that deeper, like intimate connection that we all have. And so yeah, definitely a lot of me rambling. Oh. Okay, it's a long video. I knew that. Which deck is lush and hopelessly romantic? I don't know. For me, like romantic is like colors and the textures and the you know, like the gentleness that exudes in the artwork. And so I chose Tarot of Mystical Moments. For me, it's definitely a very romantic deck. And I think all of us have seen this deck, but still, like, just look at that. You know, look at the colors. Look at, you can feel the water. You can feel her dipped in the water, and you know, like the colors of those flowers. Look at this, the Knight of Pentacles. It's so different from the classic interpretation. And there's night sky and there are stars. It really takes you in. To me, that's romantic. It's like it takes you in. It wants you in, like very softly. It's not pushing in any way. Look at that. Oh my God, that's stunning. This also has some African Americans, I think, which was it's fine, I think. But look at that, Seven of Cups. You see, it is so romantic to me, and I love nighttime, especially after dawn is my favorite time. Look at that. I mean, it is a stunning deck. Even the daytime images, they're not in your face, you know? Look at that, Two of Wands. What an amazing interpretation. Okay. Right? I mean, it gives you, just look at that. I mean, this is the last one, but you know, you get my point. Oh, just look at those colors. My God. it keeps getting better. But yeah, like this deck is absolutely romantic to me. I love this artist, Catherine Wellstein. I think she came up with a new deck, but I am not getting that. I think for me, one deck per creator makes sense. So that's it. Yeah, okay, that's it. So these were my choices for all the 20 prompts that Kara created. It was a lot of fun. Thank you very much, Kara, and please go check out her channel and put down in the comments what you like, what you didn't. If you're doing this VR, I would love to see yours as well. And I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you again. Goodbye.